Hello, everyone. Welcome to the A Train to Sedona broadcast. I'm Linda Marcanico. The A Train to Sedona is also the name of a memoir I wrote about my journey to love and compassion. I wrote about my failures and my successes in the hope that my journey will inspire yours. You can get a signed copy on my website at lindamarcanico.com on Buy the Book page. You also can get a regular copy at Amazon, Walmart, Barnes & Noble, and bookstores. I have a free gift for you. I call it the cheat sheet for high vibration living. There are 7 exercises designed to keep your energy in the present moment and vibrant. Today, I'll highlight prayer. Prayer is an activity that allows me to feel connected to all there is, to Creator, to my neighbors, to my brothers and my sisters. I use my own words and I speak to God all day long. Thank you for this. What do you think about that? Feeling connected in a really comforting way. You can download a free copy of the cheat sheet on my website at lindamarcanico.com. Now, I have 2 disclaimers. One, that this broadcast does not establish a professional relationship, and also that the opinions expressed here do not necessarily represent Talk Radio.New York City. Today, I am excited to welcome Jacinta Yang, who is joining the family of Talk Radio.New York City on September 3. Her show debuts. It's called Beneath the Calm. And she will be on at 1 p.m. right after my show. Jacinta Yang is a healing practitioner, author, and founder of Jacinta Healing Arts. She offers Reiki, Reflexology, crystal healing, and a transformational healing journey program to help people release emotional burdens, restore balance, and reconnect with their true selves. Guided by love and compassion, Jacinta creates a safe and nurturing space where deep healing unfolds naturally. Drawing from her own path of personal growth and spiritual awakening, Jacinta shares her wisdom through her books. Let Your Heart Speak, Truth Lies Within. Take Charge, Reclaim Your Life, and Be Your True Self. My Spiritual Journey, Life as an Empath. Through her podcast, Self-Aware Soul, and YouTube channel, Jacinta Healing Arts, she continues to inspire others worldwide with guided meditations, healing messages, and heartfelt reflections that empower people to embrace their authentic selves and live with love and compassion. Jacinta, welcome to the show, and you need to unmute yourself.
Thank you. It's an honor to be on your show today, and I'm really grateful for this opportunity to be introduced.
And later on in the show, we'll talk a bit more about the show, but I have a couple of questions. And the first one is, what influences from your past bring you to where you are today?
I think it's what we have experienced in our life that bring us to where we are today. How I started this healing practice is through my own personal struggle with different medical conditions and numerous surgeries, numerous treatment, and really not having one that was helping me to feel better or really have a quality of life. I had to embark on this alternative healing. And I've tried every different type of alternative healing out there, from Chinese traditional medicine, acupuncture. I think this was very awful tasting herbs, as well, as well as Reiki, reflexology, and all of that. And when I found Reiki, that was introduced to me by one of my clients, and I just started that. I tried that, and I noticed that I wasn't in making regular monthly hospital visits. Then I thought there was something to this energy healing. And that led me to think that, okay, maybe this is something I can do and learn and get educated in that. And perhaps I could help other people through this healing. I think what really prompted me to go into this healing is because when I was trying alternative medicine, and of course, I wasn't really able to work. And when you're not able to work financially, it's a big struggle.
Yes.
And a lot of the practitioners have timed uh, schedule treatment. So with what I could afford, I I guess I would get the minimum hourly treatment, and I really didn't find too much help at that time. It's like you
Mm.
feel like you're not quite feeling much of a difference. So I thought when I do decide to do this practice, I
Mhm.
will do it in such a way that it won't be timed by half an hour or an hour. At least I want the client when they come to me and then when they get off my table, they will feel a difference and not feel the pressure of I'm not quite there yet.
So you have a time expansive model where you
Yeah.
go longer than, how do you know when to stop?
Actually, interestingly, through this journey, I felt that I was guided with by my healing guide, and having a strong intuition and being an empath, I can actually feel a person's ailments.
Mhm.
And initially, I was taught that I should not take on their pain when I'm healing them.
Yeah.
But I thought that wouldn't help me if I did that right away. So I would actually allow myself to feel what they're feeling. So while I work and when I feel them relieved, I feel the relief. So in a way, you can say intuitively I work. So there has been time that my session can last up to 2 hours. And
And when did you go, please?
and I was often told by clients, how is it when I come here, I feel a difference than when I go to a massage therapist? And I often tell my clients, when you do come, please don't be in a rush because I do not rush my sessions. And a friend of mine asked me, how are you going to make a living doing that? I said, well, I do have other skills. My healing would be purely for healing. And if I need to support myself, I can use my other skills.
Mm.
I'm also a floral designer and I'm very artistic and crafty. So I use those skills to support myself.
How clever of you. When, Jacinta, did you realize you were an empath?
Oh, I didn't even know the word empath back then, but growing up, I always felt and sensed things. And oftentimes I didn't know that I was feeling somebody else's pain. So as a child, if I went shopping with my sister, I often came home sick. And my mother would just, I guess, stop me from going out. So, but, I wasn't aware of that until, I guess, not too long ago. I would say about 10 or so years. But I have experiences that I felt, maybe I would say more like 15 years, but um, I didn't take it seriously, but I learned how to protect myself. And over the years, I guess before I used to, aside from my personal health condition, I would be making regular hospital visit, but I also made regular hospital visit because I picked up somebody else's pain. And they didn't know, they couldn't find anything wrong with me because it was not mine. And I guess, the universe leads you to materials and
Yes.
information that comes to you. And then I understood, oh, this is what I am or who I am. And that's why I was feeling. And initially, I think I didn't want to accept that as a gift because it was very difficult to deal with
Yes.
this gift. And I did not want to acknowledge it at first. But I realized by not accepting it, I was making it harder for myself. So I had to learn to accept it and learn to understand what are the advantage of being an empath. And having learned to protect my energy and learning how to not take on somebody else's pain or emotion, it made it easier. And so I started to mentor other empaths.
I see. So, what would you say, Jacinta? What is the role of spirituality in your life?
Uh, I think it keeps me, honestly, I don't know how to answer that, but I think spirituality has always been a part of my life ever since I was young, but I didn't understand that was being spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
And as a child, I recall when I was in school, I often felt, compassion for the people that was less fortunate.
Yes.
And I spent a lot of time with the nuns. I went to Catholic school, and I often like to ask them how their life was, what they did, how they lived their life. And I was really inspired by the fact that they committed their life to helping others. And honestly, I wanted to be a nun at that time because of how they lived their lives. And so I thought that that's what I would want to be. But life has a different plan for me, coming from the culture I am from. My marriage was arranged, and the nuns who I hung out with a lot, learned a lot with, did a lot with, she knew that this is what I wanted to do, and she also knew that my family arranged my marriage, and she told me, Jacinta, the reason you want to be a nun is because you want to help people, and so you can still do that even when you're not a nun. So I guess that's what I'm doing now.
Indeed. Now it is time for us to take a commercial break. And when you come back, I would like you to share a little bit more about what inspired you to begin your healing journey. You did touch upon it, but listeners, when we come back, I'm going to ask Jacinta a little bit more about this important beginning for her.
Are you a conscious co-creator? Are you on a quest to raise your vibration and your consciousness? I'm Sam Leibowitz, your conscious consultant, and on my show, The Conscious Consultant Hour Awakening Humanity, we will touch upon all these topics and more. Listen live at our new time on Thursdays at 12 noon Eastern Time. That's The Conscious Consultant Hour Awakening Humanity, Thursdays 12 noon on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a high-achieving, growth-oriented leader? Are you interested in developing your authentic leadership while creating a healthy, inclusive workplace? Hi, I'm Dr. Mira Broncu, host of The Hard Skills on talkradio.nyc at 5 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays, where we discuss how leaders develop the hard skills needed to make a greater impact. We interview experts, have live coaching, and tackle these challenges. Listen to the Hard Skills on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a purpose-driven individual looking for deeper healing, clarity, and growth? Welcome to the Expansion Room, a transformative space for purpose-driven individuals. I'm Siobhan Larice, host, licensed therapist, and coach. Join me every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC. Uplift, educate, empower.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the A Train to Sedona. I'm Linda Marsanico with my guest, Jacinta Yang. Jacinta, would you say a little bit more about what inspired you to begin your healing journey?
Are we speaking about my personal healing journey? Or are we talking about the healing journey program that I started?
Which would you prefer to address?
I guess I can start with how I got started with my own healing that led me to what I'm doing today. I would say since I was a child, I've had a lot of health issues. Starting when I was 6, I had typhoid. And I guess that kind of led me to have a very low immune system. So I was missing a lot of school, and fortunately, I would say I did have photographic memories. So in spite of missing school, I would study just by photographically remember things. So oftentimes I would just go write exams. And I guess I was also fortunate that I did well. And in my 20s, my health was actually starting to go down. I experienced, I had a lump in my breast, and the doctor did not take me seriously because of my age, and it continued to grow. So I sought out another doctor, and the doctor said, well, you're still young and you've had tests done, so I'm not going to do anything. And it continued, and I went to the third doctor. The lump continued to grow. The symptoms were kind of frightful for me. So eventually I found a doctor who actually took me seriously. He said, I know you're young and you haven't been taken seriously, but I don't like the sound of the fact that you have all these symptoms and the tumor is growing. So I'm going to take it out. So this way you won't have to worry about it, and also to ensure that there's no cancer cells spreading. So at that same time, I was also going through my father's illness, taking care of him through his chemotherapy while I kept this news to myself from my family because I did not want to burden them on top of what they were all going through with my dad.
What courage you had.
And while at the same time, I left my marriage. That was also detrimental to my health. And I guess I didn't really have time to think about, oh my God, what's happening to me? I guess I've always been very analytical and a problem solver. So it's like, okay, here's a problem. This is what I need to do. Here's a problem. This is what I need to do. So actually, having my brother going through his cancer right now brought all of that back to me. And I'm thinking, okay, there's something that I need to teach people. So I was just writing content about my next episode or my episode in my YouTube about how we can try to just stay grounded and focused in what need to be done rather than self-pity. So I spent about 7, 8 years of my life being in and out of the hospital. I've had 8 surgeries and tried every treatment that was available. Eventually, the doctor gave up on me. I was told that you're going to die slowly and painfully.
Aye.
And I guess I was very determined. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm not going to let this illness take my life or take control of my life. I will take control of my life. And it wasn't easy, I have to say. There were times, when the pain is excruciating, you're not having a quality of life, it can get depressing. So when I felt that I was falling into that stage, then I had to find a solution to get myself out of that. So I decided to start a business.
Take action.
Yeah. So that's what I did. And while I still continued with different treatments and trying every treatment there was, and still, force myself out of bed and work because I had no one else but myself to support myself. So I guess that's kind of, you can say, what kept me going. And I think, thinking back now with everything that's going on, that what kept me going was when my son, he was 8, and I was going through different surgery. I saw that he looked sad, and I said, "Are you okay?" He said, "No, mommy, I'm scared." I said, "What are you scared of?" He said, "I'm scared you're gonna die, and I don't know what I will do without you." And I said, "Were you scared even before when I had the other surgery?" He said, "Yes. I didn't say anything because you didn't say anything." So I said, "Okay, from now on, we're gonna talk. Whatever I'm gonna go through, I will keep you informed." And I guess that sentence, kept me going, that, okay, I gotta survive this because I don't want my son worry about me. So, yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for sharing that, Jacinta. Can you share a personal experience that led you to write your books?
I guess when I went through a lot of things and I've survived them, and some of my friends said, you need to share your story to help other people, and where you're today, and you survived them, how you went through it and how you survived through it. You need to write your story. And every time I sat down with it, I guess my pen didn't move. So it didn't really happen. And I guess during the lockdown, I had plenty of time. So just before the lockdown, I started to write. My initial, the first book is called Take Charge, Reclaim Your Life, and Be Your True Self. Initially, I was going to write sort of like more like of a biography. And the title, I was going to title it Born Into a Prison, because I felt I was born into a prison, from a very sheltered life, and then being married off to another family that was controlled. So it did feel like a prison. But of course, writing through it, there was a lot of tears. Then I changed my mind and I said, no, I don't want to write a biography. I want to write my story to really help people, really help inspire people. So I changed how I wrote my book. It's, what I went through, what I did, and how I overcame that. So it became more like a guidebook. And then a few years ago, I facilitated a workshop called Take Charge of Your Life. in the community. It was sponsored by Roots Connecting Community and United Way. And I had a lot of participants, and they found it very helpful. They've seen growth within the participant, and they were sharing how they've seen growth with each other in a matter of 2 or 3 sessions. And they all said they wanted more of this.
How wonderful.
And then I was awarded a certificate of recognition for exceptional impact. So that's kind of led me to now do more and more of what I can do to help people with personal and spiritual growth. So that's how my YouTube and the podcast came about, because everyone was saying, Jacinta, you need to have a YouTube channel. I said, oh my God, I have no technical skills. And fortunately, we had a program here in our town that helped businesses, with digital transformation and all that. So I signed up for every workshop that was available. I had a mentor mentoring me, teaching me on this digital skills, and I started the YouTube. And then when I did a meditation at a conference, and the participant came up to me and said, Jacinta, you have to have a podcast. I said, oh my God, I can barely even think of how to do a YouTube. Now I'm going to do a podcast. So I said to my mentor, okay, this is what people want. Can you teach me how? So that's how my podcast and YouTube channel was born.
You have very loyal clients who I think God speaks through them to let you know what you can be doing next.
Yes.
They've said to you what they want to hear from you.
Yes. Actually, when I started doing the healing Reiki, and I started to see a shift in the client, and of course, I don't just do the healing energy. I talk to them. They are people to me, because I don't take them as a transaction. And so that led to healing journey. And regularly do an update of what's going on, what's happening. And then next thing you know, during the lockdown, a lot of things was being virtual, and I didn't know how to do Zoom. So the only thing I knew was Facebook. So you used Facebook Messenger because people want to be doing a video chat. And then I started to write the Healing Journey program, basically to mentor other empaths. And what I found that actually helped everybody. So you can say the healing journey got aside, and the healing journey program was born. I wrote the 12th module for the healing journey program. And since then, I've seen amazing transformation in people's lives. And
Awesome.
So
Awesome work, Jacinta.
thank you. So that led me to think of where my gift is needed, and been working with some men in my healing journey program. And I was told there's not too many support out there for mental wellness for men.
This is so true in this country as well as Canada.
Yes, so that led me to decide to do that. And that's what my show is going to be about, Beneath the Calm. Men like to keep everything calm on the outside, but underneath they're going through a lot. So I'm hoping to create a safe space for men to be able to seek help. And recently I was speaking to a couple of gentlemen I met at a golf course, and we talked about what I'm doing and what I did. And one of them said, it's so easy to talk to you. And what I like about talking with you is that, you're calm, and I feel safe talking to you. I feel there's no judgment and it's easy to
Yes.
share.
Mhm. We're going to take a break now, but when we come back, listeners, I want to ask Jacinta more about this Beneath the Calm program for men. So come back and join us for this very informative conversation.
On Frank About Health, we're not just talking healthcare. We're managing disruption and innovation. Over the last 4 years, I've taken you from epilepsy and COVID to mental health, caregiving, and now the front lines of healthcare transformation. Stay tuned for a healthier future as we bring on the innovators, professionals, storytellers, and advocates who show you how to own your healthcare every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a conscious co-creator? Are you on a quest to raise your vibration and your consciousness? I'm Sam Leibowitz, your conscious consultant, and on my show, The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, we will touch upon all these topics and more. Listen live at our new time on Thursdays at 12 noon Eastern Time. That's The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, Thursdays, 12 noon on talkradio.nyc.
Ready to serve up success with a splash? Hi, I'm Bruce Kramer, a.k.a. the Corporate Cockroach.
I'm the Renaissance woman, Angie Snowball.
And I'm your strategy doctor, Dr. Navtej Desange, inviting you to serving up success with a splash.
Join us as we shake things up with real talk and real strategies centered around awareness, action, and accountability.
And yes, there really is a cocktail involved. Please join us and sip your way to success.
Serving up success with a splash, where wisdom meets happy hours. Cheers!
Cheers.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC at www.talkradio.nyc. Now broadcasting 24 hours a day.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the A Train to Sedona broadcast. I'm Linda Marsanico with my guest, Jacinta Yang. So, Jacinta, tell us more about Beneath the Calm and your program for men.
Yes, it was not easy coming up with that show because I wanted to be able to speak the language that men can understand. Being a woman myself, of course, we have a different way we think, different way we see things as opposed to men. But interestingly, growing up and being a very independent person, quite often my friends told me that I'm not a typical woman. I'm more like a man than I'm a woman. But I still know that I don't have that same mindset as men would. And in order to help men, I need to understand how they think, what language they need to speak. So interestingly, like I said in our conversation earlier, marketing is a world that I did not know existed as a floral designer, because I never needed to have to market myself because people already knew how to find me or look for me. And honestly, I didn't even want to market myself as a healer, but it is my clients that feel very strongly that I need to be out there and let people find me. So much so that she created a website, and still I didn't know how to work the website. I'm really an introvert, and I actually like to be hidden in my little egg cocoon. But if I want to help people, I cannot be in that little cave, and it's not about me. I need to come out of my comfort zone to be able to do what I need to do, what I'm meant to do. I feel, I guess my journey in life is to really be out there and help people. So it was a lot of discussion between my mentor and who's helping me with the marketing. I said I want it to be a name so that it speaks to everybody, because there are women like myself that also keep things quiet. And I'm also learning through doing this work, teaching. I'm learning to take my own advice as well. So that's how this show came into being, and I asked Sam to help me to get on this show, and maybe that can help people find me.
Will there be a few women involved?
Of course.
So it'll be men and women, but more focused on men?
Yeah, or at least I would say, so the men can feel that they have somewhere or someone to go to.
Mm-hmm.
So I cannot say entirely the focus is on men, because I guess the reason I say I like to focus on men is because women, are generally willing to seek for help.
Yes.
So, but then I don't want to isolate the women, because, I just want it to be for everyone. But a place that at least men can feel they can reach out to, or they feel safe, they feel not judged, because they're human too, just like us. They feel just as much as we do. They carry a burden more than we do. But then there's also many of us women that plays the same role as men does. And so they also need to have a safe place to go to where they're not going to feel judged as well.
So on your show, will you have conversations sometimes with men, sometimes with women, about feelings and their experiences in life and how to work them through?
Yes, I hope that's the plan. As you know, this is very new for me, coming on live show, and I guess I have to just trust my guide to help me guide through what need to be shared. And I feel that I'll be led to where I need to go.
Well, you're being challenged to offer your gifts, and you're learning such skills on the route to all of this.
Yes, I've learned a lot along the way, I have to say. And also, what I believe is I have to walk the talk. And my client said, no, Jacinta, you do walk the talk. Another client said, no, you walked before you talk. But I know I'm learning that I want to walk the talk.
I have the same experience. I find myself sharing ideas with clients, and I remind myself to utilize the same bits of wisdom that I'm sharing. It's so essential for us to do that. I want to ask you, how do you help people reconnect with their true selves?
How? Well, actually, first of all, it's try to help them unload what is on the surface that is bothering them. So when we start the healing journey program, it's like they're coming with a large suitcase filled with stuff. So I help them find the courage to open it, and then take one little thing at a time and examine, is this good for me? Is this what I need? If not, let's take it out. So, eventually, once you release everything that doesn't serve you and doesn't help you, and then there's room. So, there's room to find you.
Yeah.
And it's a process. And I have to admit, there's a lot of, you have to go through a lot of tears. I go through a lot of tears with them too. So, and those who are really willing to work on their personal growth and willing to really work on their healing journey, they do find that they're feeling lighter and happier, and also not a lot will bother them because you found yourself. And if anybody says something that is negative, they're able to know, okay, you know what? That's not me. That it shouldn't affect me. Sometimes people can say something to you and right away you start, I wonder if that is the true or not. And then you get into the rabbit hole of, thinking, I wonder what they're saying is true about me and what's wrong with me. But when you really go through, understand, because I do get my client write a list of things they know about themselves that they liked or things they didn't like. And then we'll examine each of them, especially the list of what they don't like about themselves. Why is it that they don't like about themselves? Those lists. And the things that they don't like about themselves, I try to show them there is a positive side to that trait that they need to accept and embrace, right? So when you can accept everything about yourself, the things you like, you don't like, and then, it's very hard for anybody to put you down after that.
The triggers are less powerful. And I remember for myself going through teasing out what I internalized from bureaucracies and groups and parents and society was a very emotional and challenging process. But the prize that awaits is amazing because we're really letting go of what is not us. It's sort of leached onto us or leached into us. And we let it go and we're enlivened and our energy is brighter and lighter and we feel a sense of freedom.
Yes.
Freedom to be us.
Yes, because we can be our own worst enemy, right? So if we can free ourselves from making ourselves feel bad, that's one step at least.
To be kind and to be our own friend.
Yes.
Now it is time for us to take another break. And I'm going to ask you to share a transformative story from your healing practice when we come back, Jacinta.
Sure.
So listeners, do join in.
Misalignment within your sales team or with the client stalls deals and creates unnecessary friction for you and the client, resulting in up to 37% lower win rate. If you're in pre-sales, sales management, or sales enablement, and you'd like to increase revenues, win rate, margins, client satisfaction, and stay competitive, this show is for you. Hi, I'm Art Fromm, host of the Making Seamless Sales Show. Please join me live Thursdays at 7 p.m. Eastern on talkradio.nyc.
Hey everybody, it's Tommy D, the nonprofit sector connector, coming at you from my attic. Each week here on talkradio.nyc, I host the program Philanthropy in Focus. Nonprofits impact us each and every day, and it's my focus to help them amplify their message and tell their story. Listen each week at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on talkradio.nyc.
Hi, I'm Linda Marsanico. The A Train to Sedona is a memoir about my journey to love and compassion. It's also the name of my new broadcast on Wednesdays at 12 noon. When we are spiritual, we embrace possibilities and ideas, which strengthen our mind, body, spirit, health, and wisdom. On the A Train to Sedona broadcast, I plan to interview guests who embrace these expansive practices, Join us on Wednesdays at 12 noon on Talk Radio New York City.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC at www.talkradio.nyc. Now broadcasting 24 hours a day.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the A Train to Sedona broadcast. I'm Linda Marsanico with my guest, Jacinta Yang. Jacinta, can you share a transformative story from your healing practice that has stayed with you?
Well, where do I begin? Before I did the program, I started seeing the transformation. And when I started the program, I actually started to have my client write their self-assessment, where they're at. In my book, My Spiritual Journey, Life as an Empath, that time I haven't started the program yet. So I actually did get my client write her story of her transformation, her experience of her journey, and she shared it, and it's in my book. And the second testimonial from another client in Let Your Heart Speak, Truth Lies Within. So this is a self-assessment, over a period. I get them to write a self-assessment from different period of where they have, how much they've learned, how much they've grown, how it has helped them. So when I wrote my book, Let Your Heart Speak, Truth Lies Within, I went through the self-assessment, and I found one assessment where actually my client, in her assessment, she covered almost everything I wrote in my book. So I'm going to let you guys search those, but currently I'm working with a client, a gentleman that came to me in December, and he had told me he had gone to a psychotherapist for over 6 months, and he just found that he wasn't getting anywhere. So he went online looking for healers to help him, and he found me, and then we had a initial consult. So I said, okay, I said, I can only take you as a client as long as you're willing to do the work that I'm going to give you. And that's only I can help you. So I explained to him how the program worked, what work needed to do, because I can do the work, but it's more helpful for the client if they're willing to work on their own healing journey. And I think after 3 sessions, he had told me he's already feeling a big difference with what he's going through. And his girlfriend told him that he should stay with me. And I'm hoping to invite him to be a guest as well in one of my shows, and let him share his transformation. How about that?
That sounds delightful, that he's willing to share this with the public, with your listeners.
Yes, I did explain to him about how him being a man, doing his journey that can help encourage other men to not feel ashamed or embarrassed to seek help. So,
it's wonderful and fresh that men will come on your show, share their story, and then inspire others, other men, and women perhaps, but we're really looking at men right now, to inspire other men to look within and to heal themselves.
And to know they're human too. Just because they're men doesn't mean they have to be the strong one or the provider or all that, how do you say, social expectation.
Yes, it's
But,
pretty strong in a lot of the men that I've worked with,
yeah.
that they have to perform. These are American men. I don't know how different it might be in Canada, but the need to perform and to be strong. And I say crying helps us to remain strong.
Yeah.
It allows us to know what we're feeling. I remember years ago, Edwin Muskie was running for president in the United States, and he cried, and he could not be elected. He was taken out of the race. And some years later, Bill Clinton smiled, rather he cried, and he was ushered in. It was just a matter of years before men could actually cry on camera, political
I
men.
think there's certain stigma they feel that is, towards that. So I'm hoping that I like to try to bring about a change.
That's what we're here for, Jacinta, to create change, to offer innovative ways for people to heal. And you and I have this love and compassion in common, because when I started my website in 2013, I knew it was going to be spiritual, but I didn't know from what perspective. And it took me about 6 months to actually realize that it would be about love and compassion, because it takes a lot of work to get there. And if you're loving and compassionate, you're spiritual, whether you know it or not.
Yes.
I remember somebody telling me that a person in his life didn't believe in God, but was loving and compassionate. Well, that's a spiritual person.
Yeah. That's what spirituality is all about: love and compassion and kindness, and hold everybody when they need to be held, and have safe space for them, not judge them for whatever they're going through, because we never know what a person is really going through. Sometimes, there are people that could be lashing out or whatever, may not be very positive, but the thing is, instead of judging them for being the way they are, we need to think that maybe they're going through something that's they're acting out without even realizing it. So we just have to be able to try to put ourselves into somebody's shoe, to feel and know that, okay, that there is always a reason why people behave the way they do. It's not necessarily that's how they want to behave. Sometimes when you're going through a rough period and you can feel frustrated, you feel angry, all of those things. And whether did they actually want it to lash out? Do they want it to be angry? I don't think so. That's
loving kindness when I'm looking at the world with love, I think loving things, and I'm giving people the benefit of the doubt and sharing loving energy rather than angry energy, choosing love over fear. Now, we have a few minutes before we complete our show, and I want to ask you to tell our listeners how they can find you.
I have a website called jacintahealingarts.com, and my YouTube channel, Jacinta Healing Arts, and on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook, and my Spotify channel is called Self-Aware Soul. So I believe being self-aware can really help us to go forward in our life the way we want to.
Yes, being self-aware is really the root to love and compassion.
Yes.
It really is.
And I guess my big thing, I believe in unconditional love. And I have people telling me, I don't know how you do it. I've never seen anyone that just filled with love. I've not grown with that in my life, and I'm not sure how that works. I said, well, hang out with me long enough, I'll teach you.
What a lovely invitation, Jacinta. I want to say to the listeners that next time, my guest will be Beth McPherson, who has a decluttering and organizing business in England to shift people's energy. So to our international people, because we broadcast in over 100 countries, and that includes the rest of the world, listen in. Jacinta, it was lovely to meet with you, to hear what you have to offer. So much love and so much compassion. And that really links us when I think of love and compassion and the work to get there. And as you were mentioning, when clients come to you, they need to do the work. We all need to do the work. And once we make a commitment to doing that, we're on the path to love and compassion.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's been lovely. Thank you so much. And we'll see you next time, listeners.
Okay. Bye now. Love and light.